Welcome to the Tall Tale Tavern, the monthly one-shot adventure TTRPG podcast. I'm your tavern master and host, Kyle, and for the next 2 months, we have something incredibly special planned. A gladiator tournament like none other. 16 total players will be entering their characters into a tournament for the chance at a wish. There will be 2 rounds. The first round will be 4 identical heats of 4 players each. Whoever makes it out of the first round alive will make it to round 2. Round 2 will consist of, well, you and the players are just going to have to find out. One thing I'll say is that you don't want to miss it. The first round has already been play tested by 16 individuals who I'd like to take the time to personally thank. Techno Wizard, Robbie, Olivia, Nene, Sonoy, Prime, Hexit, L-Train, GM Joe, Patus, Ironic Man, Tidley, Mrs. Tats, Carrie, Julia, and Kashutin, thank you all for helping create this unique adventure. For this first heat, the audio was a little bit glitchy in the beginning and a little bit glitchy throughout, which is why I'm taking the time to record this separately. That being said, let's go to the tavern and see who's joining us for the first heat of the first round of the Gladiator Tournament. Joining me at the bar for the first heat of the first round is here to kick butts and plant trees, but he's all out of seeds, is Clay. Welcome, Clay.
Hello.
Clay, what is your class and race of your character that you will be playing tonight?
Yeah, I'm a moon druid, and my race is Eladrin.
Very good, very good. Next, someone who is definitely not blackmailed into being here, Fallout. Welcome, Fallout.
Howdy.
How are you tonight, Fallout?
I'm doing okay.
Good. I'm glad that you could make it, and weird that you had to specify that you're not blackmailed, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
Kind of skirts the line of the deal, but we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. I am a Dragonborn Paladin.
Ooh.
Very cool. Next, we have Natalie. Natalie's guest appearance is brought to you by Peppa's Potions and Poultices. Feeling poorly or painful? Pick Peppa. Welcome, Natalie.
Hi, I'm playing Krik-ett, and she's a Thri-kreen Swarm Ranger.
Did that like ad placement get you extra HP in the tournament or something, or is that?
It was just pure gold, yeah.
Pure gold.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
And last but not least, he did better his one time introducing the show than I have ever done in a year's worth of episodes. Scott Esbid. Welcome, Scott.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Kyle. I know people have been chanting in the streets for what a great job I did in the back half of Acquisitions Aquatica, but
yeah, I was so sad.
Sometimes.
I was so sad that my voice came back that I had to come back and introduce the show.
I caught you like gargling gravel before we started, just trying to do anything to not have to, face this humiliation. But you're doing great.
Thank you. Well, this is our 14th adventure for the podcast. Let's go to the tavern.
Oh, wait. I didn't say I was playing, Kyle.
Let's
talk about God. This guy doesn't know how to do this show. What did I fucking tell you? I am playing a Path of the Beast Barbarian, lizard folk / Lizardborg.
Good, whatever that means. This is our 14th adventure for the podcast. Let's go to the tavern in the heart of the Sword Coast of Faerun in the small town of Daggerford. Along a busy downtown street, squeezed between the shops of a tailor and a florist, like an old dusty book forgotten amidst the others on the shelf, rests the Tall Tale Tavern. A place of truth and of lies. Grab a drink of any size and listen to the wisdom of the wise in this place where the ink never dries. This is where we find ourselves tonight, sitting around a worn wooden table with the smell of books and brandy in the air. The front door opens like the turning of a page, and in walks a small group of people of various fantastical races. They shuffle in and head pointedly to a table that has a folded piece of paper sitting on it that reads, "Reserved for the Tall Tale Book Club." They sit down and gab for a bit, deciding on which story to read next. One of the members says to the group, "I've got an idea. Hey, bartender, do you have any older stories? Maybe one that hasn't been read for a while?" The bartender ponders for a second, then looks to a figure sitting at the bar, a large cloak obscuring their face and body. The figure shrugs and takes a drink. "An older story, you say?" the bartender says, walking to the nearest shelf crammed packed with books. How about a classic? He wiggles out an old leather-bound book and blows the dust off the cover, revealing a very long title. This one's a little different than the others, but just as exciting. He finds a stool in front of the bar, sits down, opens to the front page, and begins to read. What do you wish for? Fortune, fame, power? Enter in a grand competition where only the strong will survive, and only one will receive the prize. That is the message I heard in my mind as I held the strange coin in my hand. Hold the coin, speak your wish, and fight for what you desire. And thus begins the third Bi-Sesquincentennial War of the Wishes, Legends of the Lamp, or alternatively, GlaD&Diators! Roll the intro! Scott, your character inspects this mysterious coin he holds in his hand. A large gold coin with a symbol of a lamp embossed on both sides. He hears the message in his mind to state a wish if he consents to compete. Please describe your character and the thoughts that go through his mind just before he states his wish.
So you've got Belk standing in the middle of a prehistoric forest holding this coin. He is a lizard folk, but a cyborg lizard folk from the far future, reptile wars, of course. He has his left pec and arm are completely robotic. He's missing half of his tail, and the spikes along his back are made out of metal, seemingly. And as he's holding the coin, kind of twitching involuntarily a little bit, the thoughts going through his mind, he's seeing his squad and himself being ripped apart by the Velocitrons countless times before being reassembled by the reclamation harvesters. He is seeing a blinding white flash as he detonates the atmosphere destroyer to wipe out the dinosaurs in the past and prevent the raptor folk from evolving. And he's just feeling the intense emptiness and loneliness that he's had for the past decade, trapped in the Cretaceous era alone, watching the consequences of his actions. And that's what he's thinking about.
Well, he thinks about that and he squeezes the coin and states his wish. Fallout, introduce your character and what are they thinking right before they say their wish?
My character is Hazar Vindicta, a massively physically imposing black-scaled dragonborn in heavy armor with a scar over his right eye. And he hears the coin, thinks, ponders. It could be a trick, but only a coward would refuse. There's even a chance that I must. I could be the only one to bring true change. I could erase every god.
Good. And he squeezes the coin and makes a wish. Natalie, please introduce your character and what are they thinking in this moment?
So I'm playing Krik-ett, and you see her as a very large insectoid Thri-kreen in a barren landscape, hiding in a sort of alcove, protecting herself from the dangerous winds. In the distance, you see a very dim and weak sun that doesn't really give any sustenance to the land around her. But she is surrounded by her family, or what seems to be left of her family, which is just small insects who seem to be gathering around her. And as she grabs this coin, she thinks hard about this landscape and sees a brighter sun.
She squeezes the coin and makes her wish. And Clay, please describe your character and what he is thinking right before he makes his wish.
My character is named Argos the Eladrin Druid. And he is this very autumn-colored old man leaning on his staff with kind of a frumpy hat, frumpy clothes, and his skin is this golden color. And he, as he touches the coin, is just kind of having these visions of forests being torn down, burning, happening across the world, and the wild places dying.
Good. As your characters state their wish, suddenly the world turns bright white and your ears are deafened and ringing. As your eyes and ears adjust, you find yourself in the middle of a large coliseum filled to the brim with cheering fans. Ha! You look up at a bright blue sky with large purple clouds flowing through the air and a bright sun at its zenith. You look left and right and see 16 total people standing in a line. You glance behind you and see a 10-foot tall steel construct soldier standing 25 feet away, and 3 others standing in line with him. You hear a distant cannon firing beyond the Colosseum, and soon, cresting over the top of the structure, a large cannonball trailing purple smoke dives straight into the middle of the arena and explodes with purple smoke that quickly dissipates, revealing a humanoid figure with purple skin, short dark hair, a gold leaf crown adorning his brow, and a white cape that appears pinned to his shirtless shoulders. He holds his arms outward and strides forward in white trousers, and the crowd erupts with applause. He begins to speak with a voice that shakes the arena. Welcome to the 3rd Bi-Sesquincentennial War of the Wishes, Legends of the Lamp! The game is simple. Survive and win a wish. Lose and die. Gladiators, look to your left and right. Who will be the lone survivor? Who will win the wish? Make no mistake, these people are not your friends. There can be only one survivor. He turns to address the crowd again. Now, don't you think 16 is a little too many to start with? Shall we thin the herd? And you hear the crowd start to chant, Gauntlet, Gauntlet, Gauntlet. That's right, let's send them through the gauntlet! Those who make it out will move on to round 2. Take a deep breath in, gladiators, because this is the last moment of rest you will get until the winner is crowned. My name is Aris, and this is your chance of a lifetime. His legs become a swirling mist of purple, and he flies upward to a skybox and sits on a throne. You look out across the arena, and walls start to shoot up from the ground, cascading toward you like a wave of metal, and soon the walls surround you. You 4 find yourselves standing side by side in a 20-foot wide hallway that extends far ahead into the rest of the gauntlet. 30 feet in front of you, a large metal door closes from the sides, and in the middle of the door there appears to be a small panel with tiles on it. Behind you, you hear a noise and see the metal construct soldier begin to transform. The sheets of metal that made up his body slide and move on top of each other, creating a new form. He goes down on all fours, his hands and feet turn to hooves, large horns extend forward from his head, and what was once a soldier is now a large 10-foot tall, 10-foot wide bull made of steel. This Gorgon scuffs his hoof on the floor, breathes out a puff of green smoke, and charges. And everybody roll for initiative!
Damn.
Right into it.
We're going right into it.
I'm not ready yet. Sun's in my eyes.
Oh no.
I got an 8.
I got
An
a
8.
4.
I do.
Rolled a
I
1.
got a 13.
Okay.
I guess my 10 isn't that bad.
No, not at all.
Rolled a spicy 1.
Hazar got a 10, and Argos, what did you get?
13.
13. Oh, it came up as -3 on mine. I'm like, how did you roll
-3. -3.
Please stop that.
You guys had some really good initiative rolls here. Just to confirm here, we have an 8, a 10, a 4, and a 13. Okay, wow.
We're all very fast.
Yeah, first up is Argos. And so you look in front of you, going further into the gauntlet, you see a wall 30 feet in front of you with this panel on it. And behind you, is this Gorgon, 25 feet away. And he is scuffing his feet on the ground, looking to charge at the group. And it is a 20-foot wide hallway. You are all standing side by side in this thin hallway, making up the whole width of it. This Gorgon is 10 feet wide, taking up half of it. What would you like to do?
Can I move the 30 feet towards the wall?
You may. As you go up to the wall, you are able to make it with you have 30 feet of movement speed. Yeah, you're able to get up to it. And the panel on the wall you can see is a puzzle. It's a tile puzzle. It's like a slide puzzle. Looks like it has a drawing on it that you could move the tiles around to create a picture. If you would like to interact with this, you could try an investigation roll to try and solve this puzzle as your action.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay, give me an investigation roll.
That is a 15.
A 15. Ooh. It's fairly easy puzzle, and you are able to figure it out quickly. And you put the pieces together, and the picture forms a picture of a bull, of a Gorgon. And you click the last slide into place, and the wall in front of you drops. And what you see in front of you now is a 20-foot long pit. It looks about 15 feet deep with spikes at the bottom. And there's a rope hanging about 10 feet in the middle. The jumping rules for 5e is you can jump a distance of your strength score. So not the modifier, but the actual score. You can jump that distance if you have a 10-foot run up before you do that jump. Standing jump is half of that speed or half of that score. And there is the pit is 20 feet long. There is a rope hanging down 10 feet in the middle.
Okay. Can I go ahead and use a bonus action?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. With the Moon Druid, I can bonus wild shape. Can I wild shape into a giant spider?
Yes, you can. Sure. And that's a CR 1?
Yeah, because Moon Druid allows the combat feature allows CR1.
So you all watch as Argos transforms into this giant spider, and it's a large spider. You're a large size right now.
I feel more at home now.
Anything else for your turn?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Next up is Hazar. It is your turn.
Got it. So assuming I've witnessed everything that just happened, the sprinting forward and the puzzle completion, the wall comes down, all that. So I can see the pit and 25-ish or however many feet you said it was, and then I can see the pit and the rope.
Yep, and I'll give you the distance of where the pit starts now. The pit is 35 feet away is where the pit starts.
Oh, this might work out perfectly. I can do 30 feet of movement speed to get 5 feet, or I guess I'll just do 25 feet movement speed, and then I'm 10 feet away from the edge of the pit. And then I can use my action to dash, right?
You can, yes.
Okay, yeah, because I want to just do the whole turn running all the way from where I am to the pit and then jumping to grab the rope.
Okay, cool. So you are able to, because your movement speed is 30.
Yeah.
Yep, so you are able to do that. You jump and you grab for the rope. And as you grab the rope, you feel sharp barbs jut out into your hand that are hidden inside the rope, and you're going to take a bit of damage from that.
Damn.
You are going to take 10 points of piercing damage from that.
10?
And, yeah, it's a pretty good roll. And those barbs stick out and really stab into your hand. You're able to swing across the pit and land on the other side.
Hell yeah. Whew, man. I think I only have a bonus action left, and I don't think I can do anything with that. So I'm going to just land on the other side of the pit like a badass, look at my hands, grumble with disdain, turn over.
Okay. The Gorgon is up, and the Gorgon charges forward and comes to a skittering halt right in front of the two characters that are still left standing there, and does a petrifying breath attack and snorts out this green petrifying gas. And that's going to be a 30-foot cone, and it is actually going to hit Argos as well.
Wow.
And you guys need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Belk got a 19.
Oh,
You
dear.
succeed.
Krik-ett got a 8 or 10. Sorry.
The DC on this is 13.
I got a 16.
Okay, Krik-ett, you fail. And as this petrifying breath hits you, you look down at your carapace and it starts to harden and form into a stone as your body starts to turn into stone itself. And you are now restrained. And so your speed is 0, and you attack rolls against you will have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls will have you have disadvantage to attack anything.
Oh, wonderful.
Everybody else has nothing. You're all good. That is its turn. It is now standing directly in front of Belk and Krik-ett. And it is Belk's turn.
Man, now it's right in front of me. That means I'll take an opportunity attack if I try to run away from it.
Boy, oh boy.
Can I get behind it?
You can move around it.
What is there behind it? Is there any space behind it that like we
So
can
yes,
see?
there is. So the hallway extends a decent amount. I can tell you exactly how far it extends. From you, it goes 50 feet. And
50
then
feet back?
55 feet, yeah, to the wall. And there is a wall, a metal wall that is there.
Metal wall. Huh. How tall are these walls?
These walls are they're pretty tall. They're only about 20 feet tall though. So it's like tall enough where you can look up, and this is an open air thing. So most of the crowd is able to kind of see in and watch. So I say 20 feet, but really it's more like just 10 feet. It's a 10 feet tall
I
wall.
think like if a person, I don't know, like climbed on top of like a Gorgon and tried to jump onto the top of the wall, do you think like they could make it theoretically to the top of the wall?
You look up and see that there's like a magical effect to these walls where it doesn't seem like you could do a magical effect like teleport or skip parts of this, if or get on top of a wall. If that
Can't
makes
run it. I can't Mario underground level it and run across the top. Is what you're telling me.
It's got a coating of plot on it.
Well, if it doesn't look like there's anything back that other direction, then yeah, no, I'm gonna just take the opportunity attack. And unfortunately, I've seen what appears to me to be could just be a giant insect from the time period I live in next to me. So I'm really not stopping for Krik-ett right now.
Okay.
I've seen two things transform, surrounded by morphing units on all sides. I choose the one with the bug that looks weaker, so I'll dash toward the pit to try to make the jump.
All right.
Take the opportunity.
It is going to swing at you with its horns as you leave. That is a 24 to hit.
Well, yeah, that's gonna hit. That's a high
And
number.
you will
Howie.
be swinging, and it's going to do 22 points of piercing damage to you.
Good lord.
Why?
Gauntlet indeed.
I deserve it. I'm taking the
Anything
dash
else?
action, so I've got 80 feet of movement right now to
80
get
feet, okay.
80 feet. I'm getting across that fucking pit. Like,
Okay. Your strength score is 16, so you're going to run and jump for the rope.
I mean, unless you're gonna let me fucking Matrix wall run to get that last 4 feet, which I don't think you're gonna do.
So you run and you jump and you feel the barbs hit your hand, and that is.
Wait. Oh, fuck. I wanted to say after I got hit that I would probably instinctually rage in that moment.
Okay.
I'll take the full damage from that hit, but at least can negate some of the damage.
It's 4 damage, 4 piercing damage
From this? All right, well, I'm going to have it.
from the piercing.
Just
So
freaking 2 damage.
you
How
are
about that?
allowed to do that.
Excellent. When I rage, it's like not even voluntary. It's like defense initiatives activate, come out, and it's like my metal spikes turn to like liquid metal and reform the rest of my tail out of steel, the half that's missing, and clamp on that way.
Cool. Yeah, so you are able to move. You get to the other side of the pit. And you have 80 feet of movement, so that would be able to take you, if you wanted to, the way that this hallway ends and it turns. And so you would be able to look over and
turn, baby, turn.
You'd be able to
Disco
get into the next.
Yeah, show me.
Into the next
I want to
hallway.
know.
So you turn into the next hallway and look and see a long hallway, about the same length of this one, that looks pretty much empty. There is in the middle of it, kind of 3/4 of the way through, there is a similar pit to the one you just saw, but this one's only 5 feet long. It looks short. You can't really see the bottom of it from your angle, I guess, but it looks like a 5-foot pit.
Interesting.
That spans the length of the hallway, or the width of the hallway. Anything else for your turn?
I don't think legally I'm allowed to do anything else on my turn. So.
Okay. Krik-ett, you are restrained, so you have no movement. You could make an attack with the disadvantage. What would you like to do with your turn?
I'm kind of stuck there, so Krik-ett's sort of struggling, feeling all of her limbs stiffening up, but as she feels her limbs stiffen, she tries to arrange them such that she can get her crossbows pointed towards the Gorgon. She has a light crossbow in one hand and a shield in the other, and her tiny secondary arms also have a little mini crossbow below, and so she fires them both off.
So you can roll those with disadvantage.
This is actually the world's weakest Gorgon. It only had 1 HP if we had tried to fight it at all.
Okay, let's see. So that's a disadvantage is a 19.
A 19 hits.
Nice.
So roll damage. That's a good disadvantage. Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Yes. She's quite proficient in these classes.
Good.
8 damage.
Why did it come up as 11 on mine?
Oh, 11, yes, +3, yes. Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, take it. As a swarm keeper, as the first bolt goes out towards the Gorgon, a swarm of writhing gnats and like horseflies follow the trajectory of the bolt and swarm around the Gorgon, and takes an extra D6. Another 1 damage.
1 damage to it? An extra 1? And this is the swarm doing it, right?
This is the swarm, yeah, just like
bugs? Nice.
just responding to the pain of their mother.
It bites this Gorgon's butt like a cattle, and it like swings its tail at it to
Exactly.
like a farm animal to do that.
And as a bonus action, she can also fire with her secondary crossbow, and she shoots that as well. 17.
That arrow glances off this metal body, just goes. And so you can see that your arrow put a decent scratch into the side of that first one, put a decent scratch into the side of this Gorgon. Didn't seem to go too deep into the armor, but did some damage there. Anything else for your turn?
That's it. She's stuck in place. Yeah.
It is the end of your turn, and with this petrifying breath ability, you start to feel the stone taking over your body.
Uh-oh.
You have to repeat the saving throw now at the end of your turn. On a success, the effect will end on you. On a failure, you will be completely petrified.
This is a Constitution?
Constitution saving throw. DC of 13.
A lot riding on this.
Oh dear, that's a 9.
9.
Oh, no.
Krik-ett, as your body slowly turns to stone and you realize that it is going to overtake you, what are the last thoughts that you have?
Krik-ett understands her homelands will continue on their path of decay. It'll be slow death for the world, but it was inevitable. So more than anything, she just worries about who will take care of her brood swarm in the strange world that she's been transported to. And that's her last thought.
And Krik-ett, your time has been the shortest of
This is gnarly.
Of all of them. Of all the play testers of everybody so far.
Oh my gosh.
Krik-ett, you feel the stone overtake you, and you are completely petrified, transformed into solid, inanimate stone.
Hocus pocus.
As you are petrified, at the end of this initiative order, the wall where the Gorkon came from, the wall at the end of this tunnel, shatters and breaks as a second Gorgon enters into initiative and strides forward. Argos, it is your turn, and you are in front of the pit standing. You've just seen Krik-ett turn into stone, and the second Gorgon enter into the hallway. It is fairly far away from you. It is 55 feet away from you.
Would Argos know that there's no possibility of saving Krik-ett?
Yes, you would. Okay. You would know that unless you have a greater restoration spell. You would know that could be used, but you do not have that. So you know that it is unfortunately what's Krik-ett's time.
Can I try to spider climb across the edge of the pit?
Yes, you absolutely can, because your spider has that ability that can just go on the walls, right? So, yep, you are absolutely able to climb. Your movement speed as the spider is 30 feet, and so you're able to make it to the other side of that pit and make it just to the other side of the pit, essentially. Anything else for your turn? Now what we're looking at is Fallout, your character, Hazar, and Argos are right on the side of the pit, and Belk very close together. And so the three of you look back and see the Gorgons, and they rush forward out of initiative at this point. The Gorgon that was in front of Krik-ett backs up and charges into it and rips into the stone, and the stone just blasts into a million pieces and shatters. And the Gorgons look ahead, see the pit, and are not pursuing.
The hope of a people shattered. Wow.
And the crowd goes wild. God.
So we're out of initiative. Sky, your character, Belk, raged. If you want to keep your rage going, as I push us forward into the next part of this gauntlet, out of initiative, if you want to keep that rage going, you will have to make some sort of unarmed strike, something that would cause damage. Like if you wanted to punch a wall or something, you would be able to take a little bit of damage in order to keep the rage going. If you wanted to do that, if you wanted to punch somebody else, you certainly could do that as well. But that's kind of the one thing in between. After this initiative, if you'd like to keep your rage going, because you just burned one essentially.
That is true. I did. I'd probably just, while I'm amped up, take off running and I'd punch a wall, I guess, to keep it up if I have to. But I'm assuming there's going to be more enemies immediately upon me. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still.
As you walk down this hallway, it will be like a turn. If anybody else wants to take a turn as you are going to walk down this hallway to this pit in the middle of this new hallway, you all can take an action to do something. If that's going to be a healing action or anything that you would do for yourself, you're able to do that. So Belk, your
can I unarmed, does it have to be an attack that does damage?
It has to target something, and
can I do a grapple attack on someone?
Sure, yeah, you could.
Because I do think Belk would try to grapple the dragon folk to ask them if they are a velociraptor. Okay. Not being familiar with the dragon person. I see another reptile, so I would try to make a grapple to interrogate this other reptile.
So go ahead and give me an athletics check as you're trying to grapple Hazar. Hazar, he is trying to, you see him coming at you, trying to grab you. You can make an athletics check or an acrobatics check to
tell this mofo to back up. I'm gonna try and flip him to the ground.
Well, I got a 23 on mine.
I did not get that good.
Okay, so you have grabbed him, and he has grappled. His speed is 0.
What are you? Are you a dinosaur? Do you fight for Omega Prime or the Omnipicron?
He's like I'm
Talk
familiar
now,
with,
and I'm ready to
familiar with
like.
being engaged in combat, but the urgency of the situation is immediately overridden with extreme confusion with these words that I don't understand at all. I'm just trying to struggle to get him off me and shouting.
If he doesn't answer me, I will be forced to use my other attack action to try to push him.
Release me. And I try to throw him off.
Can I get an insight on his reaction to my question to see if I can tell? Like, he doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Roll an insight. Just roll an insight. Okay, it was a 10.
Yeah, it was a 10.
I was gonna say, in my head, I was thinking a 10 would be just fine enough to know that he's like not going to like fight you and like immediately see that you're a threat to him, like the velocity.
I don't need to know if he is trying to fight me, just that he doesn't understand the question I just asked, so he can't possibly be working for Omega Prime and the Velocitrons.
Yes. Okay. That's exactly what he said, and you.
Then I just shove him away and continue down the hallway. Okay. He's not a threat.
The giant spider just makes like a noise and continues down the hallway, ignoring you two.
Yes, you guys did.
If I'm trying to heal, does this qualify as a short rest? How would
This won't be a short rest. So if you wanted to, you haven't taken damage at this point, but you would.
Well, his hands did.
I hurt my hands on the rope.
Oh, you did. Oh yeah. Are you?
I mean, no, I didn't. I'm trying to feel like if there's a way that I can heal myself without using lay on hands.
Unless you would have to use a spell.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Okay, I'll just use lay on hands, 10 out of my available 25 pool.
All right, he's got 15 left.
And now I'm 15 left and back at full health, yeah.
Okay, cool. You all go across go through this hallway and come up to this 5-foot pit. Looks 15 feet down. There is spikes at the bottom of this. And you're standing on the other side of it. The hallway ends and turns.
It's just a 5-foot.
Yep, it's just a 5-foot. You could really step over it, and there's no roll for going over it.
Well, all right, I'm going over it. Okay. I'm sure it won't activate anything when we get on the other side.
Can I? Before I step over it, can I just do a what is the roll? I guess investigation. No.
Yep, yeah. Go ahead and investigate.
13.
13. You look down at the pit. You kind of put your hand into it and feel the walls. Feels like just a normal pit. You look down and see spikes. You can see moss on the side of it that look fairly sturdy enough that if you were to be in the pit, you could climb yourself out. But you look down in the pit, you don't see like a door down there. You don't see any like exit down in the pit itself.
I'm more looking at the ground on the other side of the pit to see if there's like anything. Okay. If I have stepped, like, is there a trap
pressure plate buried under the sand or whatever?
A pressure plate or something.
The ground on the other side looks like ground. It looks
like ground. Okay.
You don't see any trap. You don't see any pressure plate.
Then I will join the creepy, strange lizard man and step over it.
Okay.
Argos would just climb along the wall still, just to be safe.
Oh, good. Is he just climbing on the walls as he goes at this point? Just like the whole way? I like that.
Past the time I the strange lizard man as we cross the pit together.
Lizardborg.
Lizardborg. Are you clearly part lizard and metal?
Yeah, I am clearly like a cyborg lizard, like very much so.
I say to you as we cross over, only half expecting an answer. What manner of creature are you?
What are these words? I'm a Lizardborg. I serve Omnipocron, the Almighty.
I say nothing.
Which mind do you serve?
Which mind do you serve?
Yes, which mind do you serve?
I decide I'm tapping out of the conversation.
This is not a guy you want to engage in. This is a weird guy at the bar. It's just like starts talking about something. You just need to leave. You continue on to the end of the hallway, and you all three together turn into the next hallway, and you come face to face with a substance, and you take a step back, and your nose kind of tingles, and you look ahead, and your eyes kind of adjust, and you see like a floating skull and like a floating shield, And then your eyes adjust some more and see that this is in front of you a wall of gelatin. And this wall starts to move toward you. And everybody roll for initiative as this gelatinous cube that takes up the entire width of the hallway moves toward you.
I got a 14.
Oh, goodness. Matt won.
Okay, I'm ahead.
No.
I got a 6.
Yeah, Argos was in that one.
Yeah.
Our ghost about to be our ghost.
Damn. Get him. So is the cube the width of the hallway?
It's the entire width of the hallway.
It is.
This is 20 foot wide, 20 foot tall.
How high is it?
20 foot wide?
Okay, it is 20 foot tall.
Yeah, it is big cube, and it
That's
is
unfortunate.
moving toward you. And so with this, the gelatinous cube with its transparent ability, it takes a passive perception of 15 to spot the cube. And the only one that beats that now is Argos. Your passive perception
I'm so
is
glad I go last.
17. Yes, but you also get to go during this surprise round, which the gelatinous cube gets a surprise attack on everybody but you. Unfortunately, it did roll higher than your initiative because you rolled so terribly, and its initiative is a -4. So to that. So wow. So it is going to use its engulf ability on you all as it moves 20 feet ahead into the three of you. As it moves into you, you will need to make a DC 12 dexterity saving throw as you are inside the cube trying to get out.
Oh, let's go.
Despite having advantage on dexterity saving throws against things that I can see, I managed to roll a 2 and a 3 for a total of 6.
And I was going to bring up with the transparent ability and your things that you can see, it's technically an invisible thing. And so it doesn't really work with the advantage, but you failed anyway. So.
I disagree with his assessment of the rule, but it ultimately doesn't matter.
I got a 5.
Okay, so you failed, Scott.
8 eyes, you can see the thing, and you still fail the save.
And Hazar, you passed?
14.
14, okay. We'll start with the failures. So you failures are going to take some acid damage.
Ouch.
And you will be taking 14 points of acid damage.
Woo, I'm going to die. I don't get to have that at all.
And you are engulfed. You are engulfed, you cannot breathe, you are restrained, and you will be taking acid damage at the start of the cube's turn. And Hazar, you passed, and so you do not take the damage. And you can choose to put the gelatinous cube, you can choose to be on the front of the cube or the sides of the cube. The sides take up the whole sides of this thing, so you can be on the same side as you started on from the cube, kind of swim out. If you would like to choose to swim through the cube to get to the other side of this 20-foot cube, you would be able to do that and make it successfully, but you will take acid damage as you attempt to do so.
You know, I do hear tell that my Dragonborn done have a acid resistance baked into my character.
Ooh.
So I am going to swim on through.
Okay. So you will be taking 11 halved down to 5 points of acid damage.
Easy.
And you make it to the other side, plop out of the cube. Yep. Argos, you get a turn for this initiative. Everybody else is surprised by the cube, but you were able to see it and notice it before everybody else. So you have a turn for this.
Okay. So it depends on what the DM rules, but can I use phase step while in wild shape?
Does it have a verbal component?
I don't think so. From everything I looked up, it seemed like you could use it.
Typically for druids, you can do your class abilities that you have as a wild shape. So we'll say that you can, and that will be the rule going forward for all these. So
Okay.
that any of the class abilities
I think it makes
Go
sense.
for it.
It's
Yeah.
not something that I'm just looking at it as well. I think it makes sense you'd be able to do it.
All
Yeah.
right. So that's bonus action, teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. And then I've got the autumn one, which says immediately after using face step, up to 2 creatures you see within 10 feet of you must succeed on a wisdom saving throw DC 15 or be charmed by you for 1 minute or until you or your companions deal damage to the creatures. So I don't know if that would work. I'm not sure that the gelatinous cube is classified as a creature.
I'm just looking at its immunities. It is immune to charmed.
Okay.
But
So can I teleport past it?
yep, you can.
Okay.
And
I would
so
like
you-
to do that to get out of this acid pool.
Cool. You teleport out of it and move forward, and you have that was your bonus action, so you have an action for your turn. You look down this hallway, and Fallout, your character Hazar will be able to see this as well. You're in a new hallway, both of you, and you look to your right and you see a pedestal with a potion on top that seems to have some golden liquid in it. That's what you see in this hallway.
Okay.
Can I use it? I can't do anything until my turn,
Yep,
right? We're
correct.
still in initiative. Okay, great.
Yep.
Take your turn. I'm going to.
Can I use Moonbeam on the gelatinous cube?
Yes, you can make an attack spell at him. Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm inside of this thing. He's gonna moonbeam.
I'm trying to get you out of it. Actually,
wait, you
Never mind,
are,
I'm in B shape. Sorry.
Yeah, you're beast. You're
Wild
wild,
shape.
you're
I
wild
forgot.
shape. You
Yeah,
can't,
never
you
mind
can't
then.
cast that spell.
Yeah, I'll just move towards the pedestal.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Can spiders shoot webs? Can you web up the ground so he
Oh,
can't
I can.
follow you? I mean, it'll
I
fuck
can, but
me,
that-
but
Time to web up.
I guess that depends on your character and if he cares about this cyborg lizard that is inside the cube.
Could I do bite on it then?
On the cube?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll
Alright.
an attack.
Yeah, I don't want to leave the lizard man to die.
There's a good chance he's down. I don't know. How much damage do you take crawling out of this thing, Fallout?
5.
Only 5? Okay.
Well, that was him. That was him choosing to
13
crawl through it.
plus
So
Yeah. Swimming
five,
under
yeah,
it.
I'm already in it
Full
though.
power.
So, like,
Yeah.
That's 18 to hit.
yes, that will definitely hit.
Okay. And then it's 1d8 plus 3 piercing damage. Is 6 piercing damage. And then is it immune to being poisoned?
It is not immune
Okay.
to being poisoned.
And then it needs to make a DC 11 Constitution saving
Okay.
throw.
It is a good Constitution boy, but it rolls a natural 2 and does not
Okay.
pass.
hey,
So it takes 2d8 poison damage.
heck,
Nice.
That is 14 poison damage.
14, and it is. Is it poisoned? No, I
No.
don't think so. If it was reduced to 0.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay. Cool. You take a big bite out of it, you poison it, and it tastes bad. It tastes really bad. It's
Yeah.
gross acid cube. The worst Jello shot you ever took. So, that was your turn. We're going back to the top of the initiative, which is Belk.
hey, that's me. All right.
And so, Belk, you can make an attempt to get out, and this is, you mentioned you can get out at this point without taking additional poison damage if you.
Oh, well,
If you do. That was specific for getting to the other side, which is not part of the gelatinous cube's stat block. But when you're in it, you can choose either side.
I see. Well, I will be. First, I'm going to bonus action bite while I'm inside of it,
Okay.
if I can.
You get
Tastes bad.
chowing down on the cube.
Yeah, that's 21 to hit.
Yes, that will hit.
Okay, I'm literally only doing that because I get 3 temporary HP when I use my bite attack. So,
You are restrained, so you do get disadvantage on that.
but if I'm raging, does that cancel out? Because I didn't
you're
take an
right.
advantage on the
Correct.
roll.
You're right. You did, yes.
All right. Thank God. That's 7 damage from the bite. If I didn't
Okay.
say that, and then I will now crawl out of it to get to the other side of it. And then I mean.
That's going to be a strength check. This isn't athletics. This is just a DC 12 strength check.
Okay, well, I have advantage on those while raging as well, right?
Yeah.
Do I get to add 2 to them?
I think that's just damage, isn't it?
All right, you're probably right. Well, then you said what was the DC?
12.
Thank God I got an 11, even with advantage.
You didn't make it?
I did not make it.
You didn't make it.
Oh my lord.
That is so bad. That sucks.
Well, I didn't make it.
It's so bad.
I have +6 to strength checks, and I did not roll well.
You swim toward and you feel like you are almost there. One finger is able to get out, but you're exasperated by this attempt and cannot make it all the way through this cube. And you look through the cube and see the other side, and you wonder if you're gonna make it. Hazar, your turn.
Oh boy. Okay, to recap, you said, okay, so he's in the cube.
I can't do anything else on my turn. I just wanted to verify. I can't attack while I'm inside of it or anything like that.
Well, you did. You
I did. That was my bonus action.
Then, oh yeah, you have to use an action to try and
try to escape. I just wanted to make sure that was the case.
Just to read this aloud. Just to read this aloud. A creature can attempt to pull a creature out of the cube. Doing so requires a DC 12 strength check, and the creature making the attempt takes some acid damage.
Feels like you could have read that aloud when the person was trying to get me out on their turn previously, but you sure saved it.
Information good to know. Where is the spider, by the way? Remind me where so lizard, robot, cyborg man swimming through the jello.
Yeah.
Where is the spider?
I believe
right behind you. You guys are right next to each other on the other side of the cube.
Fine.
You guys are right beside each other next.
And you mentioned that there's a glowing. There's some kind of golden potion.
There's a pedestal in the middle of this hallway with a potion on it that it looks like a golden potion sitting on it.
Okay. Can I roll? Would you let me get away with a what would be better? Perception, investigation? I'm just trying to figure out what it is. Because
the potion?
Yeah, I would like to know what it is before possibly grabbing it or drinking it or whatever.
You from this range, I will say from this range you don't know. Once you get closer, you will passively probably know what this is, but from this distance, even a perception roll, you're going to need to get a little bit closer to it if you want to and do an investigation to see what it is. So okay. I wouldn't have you roll for investigation or perception from here. That won't be very beneficial for you unless you get close.
Fair. So I turn instinctively to the lizard trying to swim his way out of the gel. And I almost start to reach forward. And then I hear the voice in my head of when I first arrived echo, "Only one." I clench my fist and turn and walk to the potion.
Okay. You walk to the potion, and as you get up to it, you see that there is, you see the potion, you get a good look at it. This is a golden flowing potion. You recognize this as a potion of advantage. And if you were to drink this potion for the rest of the tournament, you would be able to use the advantage use the roll for advantage throughout as a one-time thing. Around the potion, there is a kind of a purple swirling magical effect that you recognize that if you were to try and reach for this potion, that there will probably be some sort of effect that you might have to pass in order to get to the potion. But it feels fairly magical, not like something that you could swing a sword through or shoot an arrow at to knock the potion over or anything. So that's kind of what you see is this potion and a decision of whether or not it may be worth it to reach for it or not.
The potion is in a glass box, and there's 2 circles for your hands, but those are lined with razor blades, and a little kid on a tricycle comes out.
So are you saying I could, I have a javelin, or, could I just kind of reach over and kind of knock it towards me. Like
you can't. You can see that it's that you wouldn't be able to like do anything to.
Oh, I wouldn't be able to
potion
do
out.
anything.
Yeah,
like,
you would.
I literally have to reach in and grab it.
Yeah, that's what you would understand about this.
I just say to myself, I cannot fail, and I just reach in and grab it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw.
Sure.
Paul did tell me he was going real Disney villain. This is a real Disney villain move to risk it.
21.
21. What is your character's greatest fear?
Oh, man, I feel like he's already lived it. I guess he has to come up with a new greatest fear.
Or a nightmare, something that he would be afraid of.
I know your character's backstory is like you failed the people that you love.
It could be reliving that day where he lost all of his family and community. That could be a big nightmare for him. I would say that probably.
Okay. You that image that hits you as you reach your hand through this purple magical effect, but you're able to shake it off and reach in and grab the potion. And you chug it and you drink it, and now for the rest of the tournament you have the ability to invoke this advantage roll, and you can use it after failing a roll.
Is it just a one-time deal? Like whenever I feel like
one-time deal, like
invoke advantage.
It's like a DM's advantage.
Activate the Omega 13 or something goes wrong.
Sure.
Good. It is the cube's turn, and at the start of the cube's turn, any engulfed creature is going to take 6d6 acid damage. And Scott, how many
a lot of D6
hit points
buddy.
do you have left here?
I got a solid 15 hit points left.
15 hit points? Okay. I'm going to roll and see what this looks like. Scott, the acid hits you for 17 points of damage. You feel the armor of your body, your half cyborg body, start to rust and wither away, and the acid overtaking. What is the last thought that your character feels as he knows that he is leaving?
Well, Belk can feel the like the mechanical protocols like deactivating or whatever as the machinery shuts down. So I'm imagining he's got like this glowing red eye because he's in rage mode, and it dims all the way out, but you see like as that dims out, just for the faintest little smile form on his face, like as he starts to disintegrate to nothing, to just not have to feel the pain of the things he's done anymore.
Jesus.
The life leaves his body and goes lifeless inside the cube. The cube continues on through the hallway and goes into the pit at the end of the hallway. On the other side of the pit, there was a wall that had shot up that had blocked the escape. And as it goes into it, that wall slowly comes down. Back to our two surviving characters so far. Hazar and Argos, you stand in this hallway together, and Hazar has just drank the potion, and you two move forward through the hallway, and you turn the corner into the next hallway, and Argos, you light up for a second. You see something that makes you very, very happy. A hallway filled with webs, completely filled with webbing. This looks like difficult terrain for anybody who doesn't have web walking ability.
Who is not a
spider.
shape-shifting spider.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Got it.
And you two stand at the start of this hallway together in front of the webbing. What would you like to do?
So again, just to recap, so this is a hallway and it's just webbing all the way down?
Webs. Yep, spider
can I
webs.
see how far the hallway goes?
You can't see very far through this webbing. It is thick. You'll be able to get through it with basically the difficult terrain halves your movement speed, unless you're
right.
Is there any way that I could pick him up and walk through the webs?
It probably wouldn't provide much benefit because it would be, I would do it as a grapple rule, and the grapple rule would lower your speed to half.
Okay.
So it would be like you'd be able to move 15 feet of speed.
Yeah. All right. I'll just ditch him and go through the webs then.
Okay. Would you like to both try to go at the same time here?
I'm trying to think of we're not in combat right now, right?
Correct. Not
yet anyway. Can I investigate to see if there's any creature or danger lurking deep in the web anywhere?
Go ahead. Yeah, give me a you can do an active perception check trying to perceive what could be going on here.
18.
You see that there are pockets of thick webbing places, it's fairly thin throughout, but you see that there are clumps around, and there's plenty of opportunity for something to be pretty much completely hidden in those areas, and it looks scary. There's not a specific clump that catches your eye.
Got it. How often am I able to use my breath attack as a dragonborn?
Is that a?
It just says action. Breath weapon as an action once per short rest. Darn. Okay. So that probably won't be able to get me very far.
I thought it was more than every short rest, but I guess it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently it is. Can I swing my sword to kind of hack a path through the?
That would be part of the difficult terrain aspect of this. So it would allow you to forge a path forward, but that's kind of what you kind of need to do at this point to get through.
So would there be no difference between hacking my sword to make a path and just walking through?
Correct. Yep.
There would be no difference. Okay.
Yeah, it would be difficult terrain either way.
Okay. I'm going to cast darkness on myself, which I can do.
Cool.
And I'm going to just walk down the hallway of spiderwebs.
Okay, so this spell is darkness, and it's a 30-foot radius? Is that 15-foot radius?
15-foot radius. Yeah. Even those with dark vision cannot see through.
Good. So, Argos, all of a sudden you're in darkness. Magical darkness.
So I have blind sight.
What's your
interesting.
Range? What's your range on your blind sight?
10 feet, at least according to this site.
Yeah. Let me just check.
I don't know if yours says
blind
that.
sight 10 feet. Yep. And Hazar, you also have blind sight.
True.
You do. Okay, so you guys start to move forward. If you want to use your movement speed to kind of go through, you are going through in tandem, unless Argos, maybe you could decide to speed ahead if you want, but would you kind of go in tandem with him or kind of move double speed?
I think I will go ahead and move double speed.
Smart. Smart.
Okay, you guys make your way through and you move forward, both with your blind sight kind of leading you forward. And Argos, you are kind of gaining some distance away from Hazar, and you hear a skittering off to the side. Skittering you know well because it sounds a lot like your own movement. You see a 5-foot medium-sized blue and white spider that is trying to get a sneak attack on you and jump at you. It is going to, let's see, blind sight. These face spiders do not have blind sight. And so this is a very good move to use this darkness spell. So as you are moving through, you do hear a skittering. They do hear you, but they are going to make a attack. There's just one face spider, guys. There's only one.
Only one. Okay.
The face, you hear the skittering, and the spider, this blue and white spider, jumps out at you, but doesn't really know exactly where you are and tries to make an attack with its bite.
He's biting blind.
Biting blind. For an 8 to hit the spider. 8 to hit you, Argos.
That does not hit.
Does not hit, misses. As it jumped at you with its bite, it phases out of existence and is no longer there. And everybody, roll for initiative.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully do better than last time. Oh, I did do better than last time. That is 19 for initiative.
Said 19.
Yep.
And Hazar?
18.
Nice. Up first is Argos.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to try to continue through the webbing towards the other end of the hallway.
Okay. So this will be your action. Do you want to use just your speed? Do you want to dash?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and dash.
And you are able to get through 60 feet and pop out of the other side of the webs.
Awesome.
And next is Hazar. So you just saw a blue and white spider jump out at Argos, miss, and then disappear. You are standing in the darkness with your blind sight available or active. What would you like to do?
How far until the end of the tunnel or hallway?
You are not sure at this point. So you saw him go forward, but you didn't necessarily see him go out of it. You just saw him kind of go off in the distance in this webbing.
I'll just I'll use my move speed and I will dash.
Okay. So that will get you 30 feet, I think.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, because your movement speed is 30. So yep, dashing will get you there.
Sure.
You hear and see another blue and white spider kind of pop out, and you feel it. You see it with your blind sight, and it is going to try and jump at where you are.
Fair.
It does not know where you are.
Okay.
It is going to try with a disadvantage on its bite attack.
He's biting blind, baby. I respect
blind. And with disadvantage, that was a 13.
To armor class, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a no.
As it misses, it then disappears out of sight as well for its turn.
Got it.
After that spider's turn, there is another spider that phases into existence close to you, still can't see you, and tries to jump and bite at the sounds that you're making.
Sure. With
disadvantage, and is going to try and hit you for a 17 to hit.
No.
Misses. You are not these
17 with disadvantage. Good
this
Lord.
one hits your armor. This one at least hits your armor.
That's a clang right there
and,
on the shield.
And you feel it gnawing, and you shrug it off. And it stays there. It does not phase out.
Ah, okay.
And Argos, it is your turn. You are outside the webs. You could move forward to see what the next area looks like, if you'd like, or you can go back and help your friend if you want it. But
so I don't really have anything to help him. So I'm just gonna go up a bit and see what I can see.
Cool. You look into the next room, and this is the final room of this gauntlet. That seems fairly obvious that it is kind of the end of this. Against the far wall, you see a stone cutout that looks like it would hold a portal, like a portal would be activated there. You can see 4 names inscribed on the wall: Krik-ett, Hazar, Belk, and Argos. And you see a handprint underneath your names. In the middle of this room, you see a chest sitting on the floor. What would you like to do?
Can I do investigation or something on the handprints on the walls, on the portal hole?
Yes, you may. You can go and investigate the wall. Then this would be this will take an action to do.
Okay. I'm not sure I can even open the chest with my spider hands. So.
You would be able to. You'd be able to. We'll allow it. I don't know. A dexterity check to do a normal thing as a giant spider.
All right. For investigation, that is dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You look at the wall. You see a handprint there. This seems to be the way out, and it doesn't seem to have any ill intent or trap to it. It looks like kind of the necessary step in order to continue on with the tournament.
So do I get an idea of like anything to do there, or?
You would understand instinctually that you would place your hand on the handprint symbol on the wall underneath your name, and that would be the step that you would take.
Okay. Is it an action to drop wild shape, or is that?
I think it's for Moon Druid, maybe it's just a bonus action. I'm not sure how that actually works for all druids, but
I think it's bonus action.
Yeah, you can revert to your normal form earlier by using a bonus action on your turn.
Okay. I'll revert back to my normal form then and just go, how interesting. Yeah, is that the end of my turn, or can I put my hand on it?
It's an object interaction if you'd like to put your hand on the wall.
I'll put my hand on the wall.
Okay. You put your hand on the wall and your name turns green and a force field activates along your hand and body and holds you in place against the wall. And that is the end of your turn. Hazar, you are in the middle of a webbed hallway.
Indeed.
With a spider that tried to bite you from behind, but missed. And he is there. The hallway continues forward.
I made it 30 feet forward after the initial attack. Can I now see the end of the hall?
Still can't see it because there's just so much web here. Like,
so much web.
Yeah.
He's behind me. I'm going to provoke the opportunity attack. I don't care. 30 more feet.
Okay. He's going to try and hit you at disadvantage with his opportunity attack. A 13 to hit.
No.
Misses. And you move 30 more feet. And now you can see that the end of the hallway is 10 feet ahead of you.
Oh,
15 feet. 15 feet ahead of you. You can see the light is there. Anything else for your turn?
How wide is the hallway?
20 feet wide.
Oh, this is a wide hallway. Okay. Yeah, it's probably a waste. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah.
A spider phases into existence close to you and tries to bite you at disadvantage. And a 17 to hit. Gnaws at that armor, you shake it off and throw it down. It stays put there. And another spider is able to make it to you with its movement speed and is able to follow you. The one that you had left is able to follow you and try to hit you with a bite attack. With disadvantage, a 10 to hit. Misses. Nope. Just spiders flying all around you.
Right.
And it is your turn again.
Oh, I will. You said 10 feet, so I'm going to use my movement action to get 15 feet and leave the hallway.
You get out of the hallway and you burst through the webs and make it out and feel that you are safe from these spiders. And you enter into this final room and you see this wall on the end with your name on it with a handprint. And you see Argos there in his old man autumn form, hand against the wall with the force field around his body. And in the middle of this room, you see a chest sitting on the ground.
Does Argos look like he's been tricked, or does he just...
You would have to you could, if you wanted to walk up and inspect the wall as
I would like to walk up and inspect while avoiding the chest.
Okay. You step carefully around the chest.
Okay.
And you go to the wall and roll an investigation.
Sure. The bad investigation. 3.
So
the wall is made of wall.
Yeah, the wall is a wall. The passive thing that you know from this is just that your name is there, and putting your hand on the wall is what's going to activate it. And it really is fairly obvious that portal will form.
Fair. Yeah.
But there's not a whole lot that you're getting from what the force field around him is. That's all kind of just confusing. You're not
unsure what state he is in. Just kind of say, I've come this far, and I'll put my hand on the handprint by my name.
Okay. You put your hand on the handprint, and that force field surrounds you, and the portal starts to activate. Below you, both of you, the ground starts to shake, and the floor starts to crumble away. Your force field drops around you, and you realize that you are going to have to try and stay on this platform as it rumbles and shifts away. Blocks are falling down into an endless expanse below. Give me a dexterity saving throw to stay on this ledge.
Oh, goodness. That is a 17.
16.
16. The DC for this was 15. And you guys both stay on this ledge. And as you stay on this ledge and stabilize, you look to each other as the portal gets bigger and bigger outside the bounds of the stone cutout and consumes you. And everything goes white. And you look around, your eyes adjust, and you see that you are standing on the arena. And you look around, and all of the other survivors of this first round are standing in a large circle in this arena. And the crowd erupts and goes wild. You have survived the first round of the Gladiator tournament.
Hell yeah, man. That was intense.
And that concludes our first heat of the GlaD&Diator tournament. Woo! Congrats to the survivors. And thank you to all the players, Scott, Fallout, Natalie, and Clay. Their socials can be found in the description. If you want to see the video of the episode, it'll be up on our YouTube. Follow us at Tall Tale Tavern Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. If you like us, give us one of those good 5-star reviews. Join our Discord too. Thank you to Tyler Adelsberger for our intro music. Thank you to Zazar for our artwork. And with that, we will see you next time for the next heat of the GlaD&Diator tournament at the Tall Tale Tavern.